fine, we're only halfway. Things should hopefully speed up. Fucking hell.
Boom, 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 boom.
Avengers Civil War!
Yeah,
we're
that's
here.
where it is.
March of year 8. So I've got like a full written out plot for this because I have changed it.
Okay.
So Wilson Fisk, backed by Norman Osborn and a rehabilitated Baron Zemo, have formed the Cabal, a group looking for modern political power. They use Zemo as an example of the rehabilitation project available at both the Raft and the Cube, the place where Magneto and the X-Men are being held. After an accident takes place between a young mutant parading around as a young Avenger and killing civilians by accident, an act is suggested that puts the Cabal in control of all superhero groups with the 50 States Project. Superhero groups controlled solely by the government instead of acting on their own. Anyone against the act would be detained inside one of their facilities. Wilson Fisk at this point is now mayor of New York, leading the political charge as he manages to pull enough strings to try and get the law actually passed. Avengers from certain sides may not agree with Fisk, but after the event, they might not also believe that Zemo is rehabilitated, but after the Young Avenger event, they're devastated by the death of that Young Avenger and the civilians that they took out. And they've got no reason not to trust Osborn. The Avengers hold a meeting, and battle lines are drawn, one side being anti-government.
That is the Garth Ennis run of Punisher. I know that face.
The Avengers hold a meeting and battle lines are drawn, one side being anti-government and the other being pro-government. Tony Storm?
Is she here?
Tony Stark takes the lead.
Timeless, darling, timeless.
God, Tony Stark takes the lead, using guys like Punisher as an example. Stark gives Cap the chance to hang up the shield and Cal, but Cap declines, and a brawl takes place in Avengers Tower, and the Avengers are split into two teams, depending on who they agree with. Punisher is detained by a Team Iron Man and kept inside the cube. He's sort of like a casualty of, like, we need to take out these guys that are clearly not superheroes that are using our name.
Yeah.
This is also the reason why we don't get a Jigsaw follow-up at this point.
Yeah.
During his time there, it's revealed.
Well, you could have like this movie. The way that they detain him is he's on the back end of actually like taking out Jigsaw.
Yeah, that could be like part of the opening of the film or something.
Like they could detain him and say, right, we're going to give you like 5 seconds to pull that gun down, Castle, or we'll take you in with a struggle, and he just shoots Jigsaw.
So during his time at the Cube, it's revealed to him that the warden of the Cube is Arnim Zola. Who's made cameos, obviously, in the previous films. I've put the Wolverine, because there was a Wolverine film here, so ignore that. The Peggy Carter earlier episodes and stuff, he's been scattered throughout plenty.
Yeah.
Arnim lets Baron Zemo into the cube, and Zemo brutally assaults Punisher, leaving him in a critical condition, hence the picture.
Okay.
Karen Page...
I love that in all of... I love that any artwork you see from the Garth Ennis, he's always scowling. he's like crippled here, but...
So, Karen visits Frank in the cube, because the idea is that they've got like a bit of a relationship going on.
Yeah.
And is informed that the brutality came from Team Iron Man. Punisher can't even
By a
speak.
bit of a relationship, they've got a camaraderie, like a friendship sort of thing.
No, romance.
Oh, okay.
Like, I liked their chemistry in the Punisher Season 1. Do you know that episode where she crosses over and he's got to protect her?
Okay, yeah.
So I'm kind of bringing some of that into here.
Alright.
But he can't even speak. He's had, like, fucking bones broken and fractured and stuff. He's fucked.
Yeah.
So she's informed that the brutality actually came from Team Iron Man when they detained him, not Arnim and Zemo. Castle ends up dying. With Karen at bedside, absolutely distraught by what's happened. Page then publishes an article claiming that it was Stark and the brutality of them was responsible for killing Punisher like a bounty hunter, and that he cannot be trusted. This rallies even more people to join Cap's side, and multiple fights ensue. We see confrontations between former allies, chase scenes, and it all builds to a final fight. Punisher is like my like crux to like start this whole Civil War properly.
Okay.
I have unfortunately killed him off for the sake of doing that.
Oh shit.
But
well, he's been there since the beginning.
Yeah. I wanted, like, I think with the MCU they don't kill off enough people, so I really wanted to start doing that at this point.
Okay.
There's Arnim Zola.
Oh, fucking hell, hello.
The warden of the cube. So Wanda stays out of the fight for the majority of it, at least, until Vision gets involved. While she's fighting Vision, she accidentally kills Hawkeye.
She fights... So Vision gets involved and she fights with Vision?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
So the idea is, like, obviously everyone is sort of split up. The Fantastic Four apart. I'll show you the teams later.
Okay.
But yeah, they're on different sides of the team. I mean, he was created by Tony. He's going to be on Tony's side. You know, she was helped by Cap earlier. She's going to be on Cap's side, sort of thing. But in it, she accidentally kills Hawkeye, who's on her side. Okay. Ending the fight entirely as the Avengers kind of realise, holy shit, like one of us has just actually died.
Oh yeah, Punishers. They
didn't like Punisher. So
he wasn't an
even
Avenger.
Cap didn't like Punisher. So Tony uses her as a prime example as to why they should be under government control, though it's revealed to him by Karen and Foggy, who have been working on the side. There's like a side sort of storyline with them to investigate in. The ins and outs of the cube, and that they're all being played by the Cabal and Arnim Zola. A group of Avengers briefly team to storm the cube. They end Zola and Zemo. They end Zola, and Zemo escapes as he releases everyone detained there. So you get loads of like X-Men cameos and shit as they all have like a big battle. The Avengers work on capturing everyone that is trying to escape, while Captain America and Iron Man still have tension after their previous fights and continue to battle in the cube. Mm-hmm. The fight ends with Cap winning against Tony and Tony backing down. They agree to oppose the Cabal and expose the cube, which pushes back the law, and the blame is placed on Zemo. He's sort of like their scapegoat for the entire thing. He's turned in, scapegoat by Fisk and Osborn, and then detained in the raft.
Okay.
During this film, Prison 42.
So that's where this should have been.
Because Black Panther would have been just after this.
Okay, but you've changed
the order. I've moved it to be a little bit earlier.
Okay.
So former Brotherhood mutants and other villains, including Magneto, are transferred to a different containment facility ran by the Avengers. That would include Namor now being brought here. A prison located on a space station, limiting the escape of certain supervillains. Prison 42 ensures that villains cannot escape without risking their lives, as it's an incredibly hostile environment on a different planet, or like orbiting a different planet sort of thing. Extremely high security access. Inmates within Prison 42 consist of like Magneto, Taskmaster, Bullseye, Arnim Zola, and some comic cameo villains that we haven't been shown yet. But you know, we might not explore their stories, but look, we've done them in live action.
Yeah. Okay. So
Team Captain America.
Alright, so let's see. So we got Moon Knight, Daredevil, Hawkeye dies, Kate Bishop, Nightcrawler, Sue, Johnny and the Thing, Quicksilver, Wanda, Beast, Jessica Jones, Iceman, Ant-Man, Wasp, Falcon, Winter Soldier, and obviously Cap.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good team.
Team Iron Man.
Oh wait,
looks like there's more people, but there isn't.
You introduced. I didn't. Oh wait, of course, because Gambit would have been introduced in the X-Men. But is he an official X-Men? Because I don't think he is in the comics, is he?
Well, he is here.
He is here. Okay. So we got.
Start from up here. You got
Yellow Jacket, War Machine, Iron Man, Reed, Black Widow. Is that Yelena?
That's Yelena.
Okay, that's Black Panther.
Both Black Panthers there.
Vision, Gambit, Luke Cage, Storm, Colossus, Cyclops, Red Guardian, Ghost Rider. So you were using Ghost Rider again.
Well, this is the only place that I really bring back. That's Stature.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or, as you call it, Giant Lady.
I don't know who she is.
But that kind of story of her stealing the pin particles would then be revealed here as we get, like, do you know in Civil War when he turns into Giant Man?
Yeah.
She would do that. She'd be like, "Way!"
Wolverine and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Would Spider-Man have his Iron Spider suit in this?
No, he would have his regular suit because I used the Iron Spider suit later on. But the idea is that he would turn. Initially, Sue Storm would have been on that team. She turns. You know, people sort of switch sides as we go.
Okay.
So straight after this, we've got the Defenders, Heroes for Hire. So we've got an origins and introduction to Iron Fist. Obviously, we saw him earlier on with the Kunlun episode, adding a little bit of lore for the Iron Fists. But here he's here proper. Shows where some of the Avengers are post-Civil War, mostly Jessica Jones, Daredevil, etc., street-level heroes. We get some justification for Luke Cage, because he's on Team Iron Man, whereas Jessica Jones is on Team Cap, and they've got a relationship going on. So that is kind of like the main source of the film. Like, there's a bit of conflict going on. The Defenders aren't really the same.
Yeah.
He's trying to make up for the mistakes that he's made. The crew of Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage take on Cottonmouth, though, and that's how they kind of build themselves back up. Cottonmouth is leading the remnants of the Hand after Daredevil 1. Introduction to Misty Knight, who is a cop in this film. She ends up losing her arm and getting like a mechanical arm.
Okay.
I like the idea that maybe she's got like tech that relates to somebody that we've already seen.
Yeah.
We get a Matt Murdock cameo. We get to address the death of the Punisher. The funeral of Frank Castle is also in this film because it's sort of street level stuff.
Okay.
This film sees the last appearance of Karen Page as she decides to leave to travel the world. Heroes take out Cottonmouth, who is using leftover hand remnants as his gang in Harlem, mixed with regular criminals.
Yeah.
Film ends with Luke Cage and Jessica Jones officially leaving the Avengers to become the heroes for hire with Iron Fist.
Okay.
I've lied here. This isn't the last we will see of Karen Page.
Oh, fantastic.
I think she pops up.
Oh, is it kind of like a Pepper Potts situation, which says, I'm going, and then she turns out to be back in the next film?
Boom, I'm rescue. Karen Page comes back as Iron Man. So that's July of year 8. That was March of year 8.
Yeah.
So March, April, May, June, July. There's like a decent gap there. Oh.
We're on the next one. Hello.
By the way, this is the final film of year 8. Takes place after Civil War. Iron Man Superior.
Okay, then.
I'm doing it, John.
You're doing it.
Tony Stark, reeling from the events of the Civil War, with Captain America on the run and the new Avengers team being assembled, starts to have wild nightmares and dreams about a different reality. I need to warn you.
Okay.
I'm doing Flashpoint.
Oh, okay. It's
So-
like Marvel Flashpoint.
Yeah. He visits Doctor Strange to see if he can get the dreams fixed, where it's explained that his dreams aren't actually dreams. He's seeing, like, when we dream, we're seeing a glimpse into the multiverse and alternate realities and things. I don't know if that's a thing from Multiverse of Madness, but I think it might be.
Okay.
So we see multiple flashes of Tony Stark variants, some played by different actors, others played by the original Iron Man actor Pedro Pascal. Tony wakes one morning to find himself actually in one of the alternate universes, where he sees himself as Superior Iron Man. We don't know how he got there, but he's sort of like somehow been misplaced and put in this alternate universe. This shows like the Extremis storyline. It's very like sort of comic accurate, where we get to see like that version of Tony Stark manipulating the public, trying to make money off of them and control them and that sort of thing. Doctor Strange uses help from a debuting America Chavez to help pull original Tony back. So I'm going full Multiverse of Madness, but Tony Stark style.
Okay.
She's debuting in this, and she's helping Doctor Strange get Tony back out. It's never really explained how he got teleported like into the alternate universe. It just sort of comic book style happened.
Okay. Well, maybe like you could have it so that maybe I don't know, like because I don't know anything about the Superior Iron Man lore, but maybe he somehow manipulated it and swapped places with him or something.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, I mean, we build to like Superior Iron Man briefly coming into this main world anyway. So we've got. They pull original Tony back to the main timeline, but Superior Iron Man manages to follow. We get a brawl between both Iron Men at the top of Stark Tower at the climax of the film, while America Chavez and Doctor Strange work on closing the multiversal breach.
Maybe it's maybe he pulled him in to like try and off him or something.
I like the idea here that Tony fails against Superior Iron Man, because technically Superior Iron Man is stronger than Tony Stark because it's a pure evil. You know, he's got nothing to really like weaken him in any way. He's also got a symbiote suit of armor.
Yeah.
So we've got the debut of Pepper, a very low-res Pepper, as Rescue, who comes to the aid of Iron Man to defeat Superior Iron Man at the end of the film.
So what's that? So at the end of the film,
Superior Iron Man is sent back, but we get a very similar visual to No Way Home, where we see the multiverse is clearly damaged from America Chavez and Strange, like the big fucking cracks in the world sort of thing. The end credit scene is America Chavez being kidnapped and detained in some sort of facility.
Okay. Year 9. There we go.
Scarlet Witch 3. WandaVision.
WandaVision. WandaVision.
So the movie opens with some strong tension between Scarlet Witch and Vision. Obviously, again, it's post-Civil War. There's flickers of them fighting and arguing about the Civil War situation. We see the funeral for Hawkeye at the start of this film, with cameos from multiple Avengers. There's also an anti-mutant rally going on in response to what Wanda has done.
Oh, so it's officially confirmed that she is a mutant.
Yeah. We then flash, with no explanation, to a sitcom style from WandaVision. The entire film plays out very similar to the show, including Agatha Harkness being there as the nosy neighbour, the kids being manifested, Vision playing the role of the sitcom dad. It flickers, though, through different eras similar to the real show. I've included this here because I like the idea that when we get to it, Wanda is able to manifest like anything, and I want them to reference, because it's Disney, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay, then.
I want them to flick through like not only different eras of TV, but different eras of film, and the big battle jumping between that. Have you ever seen Everything Everywhere All at Once?
No.
They do something similar with that, where they like fight through the multiverse, and they flicker very quickly through different art styles and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to do something very similar to that. We've got here the debut of Bruce Banner, who is trying to help Reed Richards deflate like the hex that Wanda has created, that she's living her world inside of.
So why is it established? So it cuts to them to bang them in a sitcom. Is it I'm assuming by the end of it, I'll know why she's created a hex.
So the idea is that her and Vision are arguing to the point of like she's basically like unable to control her chaos magic. She's getting very angry. She's getting frustrated. Whenever Wanda uses her emotions too much, that's when like her powers go out of control. And then
because that's like why the No More Mutants thing happened.
Because in WandaVision, she isn't aware that she's even making the hex.
Yeah.
So that's the similar thing here. We just get a flash and boom, suddenly they're in this thing.
Okay then.
So we see a flash outside of it. Bruce Banner and Reed Richards trying to shut down the hex. They struggle to use technology to do it, so they bring in supporting character Wong to try sorcery. But he isn't strong enough to help the situation. He mentions that Strange is off helping Tony Stark with something.
Oh, so this takes place at the same time as Superior.
Yeah, so if it wasn't bad enough that you've got Doctor Strange and America Chavez tampering with the multiverse, you've also got Wanda having a bit of a fucking shitstorm. So Pietro is also present for this film, obviously. He's playing the role of Wanda's brother in the show. We see the entire... I say that like he doesn't play a brother anyway. But you know what I mean.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like
yeah.
the sitcom brother.
The one that everyone cheers when he walks on the screen. Yeah.
Since this takes place around the same time as the Iron Man 3 timeline. That's what threw me off. I was like, Iron Man 3? The Mandarin?
What is it? Would this be Iron Man 3?
It's Superior. That's Iron Man 3.
Oh, I didn't realise that was only the third one in this fucking...
Yeah. You've got Iron Man 1, Iron Man Patriots and Saints, and Iron Man 3 Superior.
Okay, then.
Pietro is also present. We see the entire family take on S.H.I.E.L.D. agents that are trying to breach the Hex, but with no success. Towards the end of the film, we see the Hex getting bigger and bigger, and it's revealed that Agatha took advantage of Wanda's rage pre-Hex, resulting in Wanda killing Vision, which is revealed in the flashbacks.
Oh, wow.
And she's been animating his soulless robot body the entire time.
Oh, shit.
Agatha takes the spell cast on Pietro over and uses him to fight Wanda briefly before Agatha turns on Wanda fully and the two battle. S.H.I.E.L.D. takes Vision's robot body as he gets blasted out of the Hex, and Wanda defeats Agatha in a similar way to the show using ancient runes and outsmarting her basically. Binding her in her ghostly form once more, it's revealed that the Hex and everything conjured by it is Wanda's doing, and slowly it all fades away, along with her children, who she has to say goodbye to. The film ends with the Hex being destroyed and Wanda leaving to take refuge as a fugitive at Mount Wundagore.
Oh, that sounds... Because a lot of people's complaints are, like, some of, like, Wanda's actions in the actual show. That seems like she has no idea what she's done. And then by the end of it, everything just sort of sinks in. She's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
That's brutal.
She doesn't even... She's never aware of any point until, like, literally the final act of the film that she's killed Vision, her kids don't exist, and Agatha has turned on her.
Yeah, good lord. That's cool. That's cool as fuck.
I need a pee after year 9. Fucking hell. Captain America 3, New World Order.
Almost like Brave New World.
Almost. Steve Rogers has retired as Captain America after the mess of Civil War, and both Winter Soldier and Falcon are operating as a Black Ops-style duo of Captain America, though they are opposed by the Flag Smashers, a group of terrorists that want to destroy the entire concept of nations by targeting world leaders. The film follows multiple assassination attempts thwarted by Bucky and Sam before they track down Steve to get his help as well, because this is a big fucking organisation. Steve refuses until a mysterious super soldier appears working for the Flag Smashers.
Oh, I'll take a fucking wow. Guess who that is?
Steve returns and picks up the shield to face the super soldier, only to find out that it's his brainwashed ex, Peggy Carter, who has retrieved who was retrieved from the super soldier facility she was trapped in back in the Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Was she also... Because you do age when you're on super soldier serum, so was she also like kept in suspended animation then, I'm guessing?
I've just sort of gone with the concept of like, you don't age with the super soldier serum. Okay. So she sort of like remains in her 40s at this point.
Okay.
If anything, de-age her. Okay. Why not? Do whatever you want. So...
Bucky, Sam and Steve.
Yeah, Bucky, Sam and Steve must find a way to break her out of the mind control, and once they do and are fully reunited, the four of them take on and defeat the Flag Smashers. Captain Carter becomes an official Avenger as she joins the main team. At the end of the film, Steve is welcomed back as Captain America.
Oh, of course, yeah, because
Avengers.
this is after Civil War, so he would have had to go into hiding.
He's nomad for like the entire team, the entire film, basically.
Okay.
We also get a scene at the end of the film where Steve says he wants Sam to be Captain America if anything was to happen to him. I also like the idea that the four of them, Captain Carter, that's why I was calling her Captain Carter, because I knew it were coming. Obviously, Falcon, Winter Soldier, and Captain America would be like a modern-day Howling Commandos.
Yeah. Okay.
And cameo here as we see Sam training Patriot post-Civil War.
Who's that guy in the top one?
That is Batroc the Leaper.
Okay, then.
Who was in... He's the dude on the boat that Captain America fights at the start of Winter Soldier.
Oh,
He's part of the Flag Smashers in this.
Okay, gotcha.
I've sort of mixed the Falcon and Winter Soldier show with like my own shit going on. Captain Marvel, and I've got Jennifer Lawrence.
You've got Jennifer Lawrence.
And Tanner Buchanan's here to join us.
Oh, I like Tanner. He's great in Cobra Kai.
So, Captain Marvel, pretty much the exact same as the IRL film with a huge introduction to Skrulls. They were cameoed in the first Fantastic Four film, but they're here in full force as they are properly. Marvel being the main villain. We have the entire thing set in the 90s. Introduced Marvel Boy as well as Monica Rambeau. The end of the film has Marvel Boy and Captain Marvel both leaving Earth to protect the rest of the universe, but a huge setup for the Skrulls remaining on Earth.
Okay.
In the end credit scene, we see a modern-day Monica telling the story to an Avenger before displaying that she also has powers after an event as a child that was shown earlier in the film. The powers vanished during her teenage years, but recently resurfaced after an event in Dark Empire. That's why she's not been here.
Okay.
Because, canonically, I think she is Earth's Captain Marvel now.
Right.
Whereas... regular Captain Marvel goes off and like is a cosmic superhero.
Gotcha. You're not even going to introduce Year 10.
Let's
get onto it.
Spider-Man 4, Venom and Carnage. I'm doing it, John.
You're doing Venom and Carnage.
We start the film by seeing a symbiote brought back from space by Shield and Sword. Astronauts. Shield and Sword astronauts.
Shield and Sword astronauts.
And the symbiote tech latches onto Eddie Brock. Within the first 20 minutes of the film, we see Venom develop, as well as Brock visiting a prison and the symbiote splitting off to Cletus Cassidy. Venom and Carnage begin to work together while also battling each other for dominance, and their fight leads them to New York. Enter the Defenders and Spider-Man. This is an Avengers-light movie, with them trying to figure out how to defeat Venom and Carnage, in which we see Peter take on some of the symbiotes so that he can go toe-to-toe with them better. We get Black Suit Spider-Man, the whole shebang.
So instead of Venom, like, straight up, like... Because the reason why Venom becomes Venom is because the rejection that Eddie feels from... Well, no, the rejection that the symbiote feels from Spider-Man after it removes him, and then Eddie obviously is embarrassed by Spider-Man for the Sin Eater storyline, and then through that they both bond and become Venom. That's where they come up with that name.
I've gone straight for like, is it Agent Venom?
Oh, okay.
Where he kind of like the whole space astronaut.
No, that is still in it.
Oh, okay.
The symbiote still. So, but instead you're having it go straight to Eddie. Yeah. And it's more like a feral animal, so like the ultimate verse.
But it's sort of like suggested, like, holy shit, these two aliens are on the same team fighting and just destroying shit. No, they're fighting each other as well.
Okay.
Like, one of them has to come out the winner, sort of thing.
And then I'm guessing like the symbiote would bond to Peter, and then maybe it would bond back to Eddie, and that's how you can get him with like his spider logo.
I love the idea of there being a scene where like some of the symbiote goes off of Venom, and Peter can use it on his own suit and form his own suit, and then he gets to listen in to like the sort of hive mind that is Venom and Carnage.
Oh, okay. So you could also establish like, because I think like people would be annoyed if you're not doing, because you're jumping straight in with Venom and Carnage, and it's more like that they are Oh, like they don't, like almost like they would have been that without like the rejection of Spider-Man. Like people might be annoyed, but you can also play that off because the symbiote has a hive mind, and it's also been retconned that it's not a spider, it's a dragon on his thing because of Null. Because the symbiote has a hive mind,
Yeah.
you could have it be that, oh no, it still feels this rejection from somewhere else in the world. This is just this version of Venom and Carnage. It's not the comic version, it's a completely fresh adaptation.
Yeah. It's again,
you could even
like,
have the symbiote come back on that thing from space, from the multiverse. It could have been rejected by Peter in a different world.
I've kind of gone again with like Predator influence with the idea that like this is a race that like always fight for domination. I like the idea that you would get some lore behind like symbiotes and stuff, and there's others that exist, and there's always like a head symbiote that sort of is better than the rest and that sort of thing. So as soon as them two are like on the same planet where there's no other symbiotes to compete with, well, there's got to be one out of the two that is better.
Yeah. Okay, interested.
So Daredevil, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones are all present for this film, but as like supporting roles. Spider-Man figures out that sound is how to separate the symbiotes from their hosts, and with the help of S.H.I.E.L.D. and some clever planning, Spider-Man traps both Venom and Carnage inside echo chambers that make them volatile and unable to focus. Both Brock and Cassidy are taken to the Ravencroft Institute for containment after being separated from the symbiotes, a place already playing host to some other Spider-Man rogues from previous films that aren't in the raft.
Yeah.
So like if we ever had like a Scorpion cameo or whatever, they're in there. One of the big events during this film is the death of Harry Osborn, who is killed by Carnage in search of Spider-Man.
Oh, shit.
End credit scene is Norman Osborn blaming Spider-Man for the death of his son.
And we know where this goes.
Michael Mando is Carnage, and Mason Dye is Venom.
Yeah, okay.
He's also from Stranger Things.
I could see that.
Obviously, Michael Mando.
I know him.
Michael Mando's just brilliant.
He is. He's acing fucking
He's just
Orphan Black.
fantastic.
Watch Orphan Black, people who are listening.
I
It's
forgot
fucking
he was
amazing.
in that.
Yeah, he falls through a table, John.
Yes, he does. I like the scene where he gets like nailed to the table by the boyfriend dude. Fantastic Four, Secret Invasion.
Here we go.
The Fantastic Four are called into space. Now, just for context, this is like a prelude to a big event.
Okay.
That's why I've used the same name here. So they're called into space by a former Skrull contact, the same Skrull that Johnny Storm met in the cantina scene that I referenced earlier on.
Yeah.
Asking for their help to end the Skrull-Kree war that has been going on now for decades. The Fantastic Four reunite post-Civil War for the first time. There was still that barrier between them. Unaware that there have been Skrulls on Earth now since the 90s. The Skrulls, despite being turned down by the Fantastic Four, offer them accommodation before they leave. During this, DNA samples are taken from them, and the Skrull fleet uses the special powers of the Four to create the Super Skrull soldiers, with powers similar to the Four. You know, the whole transformation shit.
Yeah.
We get a hint here towards the affair between a Kree Captain Marvel and a Skrull princess. Back, obviously, predating, you know, the shit that we've already seen with Captain Marvel and stuff.
So this is a different Captain Marvel.
It would be like the Jude Law character.
Gotcha.
Like Marvel
Yeah.
being Captain Marvel rather than like Jennifer Lawrence Captain Marvel.
Got you.
Like the mantle gets passed down sort of thing. So we get a hint between an affair between a Kree Captain Marvel, the Skrull Princess, as being the only time the two sides truly got along, but since then it's been non-stop galactic warfare. We get a return here of Rocket and Groot, who were in the first film, a cameo from Bruce Banner, and a debut of Cosmo the dog.
Hey, I like
where we
Cosmo.
see a big team up to try and defeat the super soldiers in space. The Four are sent back to Earth, though, where the Kree are attacking. After finding out that the Four's DNA was used to aid the Skrulls, they assume Earth has sided with the Skrulls because of this. During this, Marvel Boy, who has sided with the Kree, is leading an attack on the US in retaliation. During this as well, we see the Avengers begin to assemble again to defend, but they aren't quick enough. The attack is very quick, and Wasp is actually killed, revealing she has been a Skrull.
Oh, okay.
So that's your big cliffhanger. Then we've got a pause in it as we do the Emperor and the Wizard. They're here!
Yeah, let's
They're
go!
fucking here, because I need them for Secret Invasion. So this follows Billy Kaplan, travelling the Witch's Road with the ghost of Agatha Harkness, because at the end of WandaVision, she got bound in ghost form back on the Witch's Road. You know, you need the Witch's Road goal at the end to bring her back.
Yeah.
That whole scenario. So this is kind of a rehash of Scarlet Witch's first film, where
Yeah.
he's now walking the same road that his mother once walked.
But I'm assuming you don't. It's like same thing with the show. You don't know it's his.
I've put-
he's the door. He's the door. He's the son.
I've
until,
put that it
yeah.
follows the same general idea of the IRL show, slowly revealing his identity of Billy to us and what he's capable of.
So he's like, yeah. So he's like the misplaced. So he's like the same thing in the show. The
Yeah.
manifestation of her son put in the body of someone else. And
Yeah,
then,
yeah, the whole hex thing, the flashback, everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Billy's story takes up 8 episodes of the show before we switch to the story of Teddy Altman, not Hulkling, a shape-shifting Kree-Skrull hybrid. Hardy ha! It's not like we've just seen an affair between a Kree and a Skrull. We get the lore behind his conception and how important it is, and he's the future emperor, leader of both sides. Technically, he's the heir to it.
He's not called Hulkling because we ain't got a Hulk.
No, exactly. So he's just Teddy Altman. We get the lore behind it, as well as him meeting Billy in episode 11.
Yeah.
Episode 12 is both Billy and Teddy going to track down Tommy, obviously Billy's twin, going to the college where he's a well-known track runner. He's like amazing at running track and he can't figure out why. It's not that like his uncle is Quicksilver. They're brought in by the Avengers during this, where it's revealed that Tony has been working on an AI version of Vision after Vision's death.
Oh, so this will
They
be
took
like
the
white.
body of
this will
Vision.
be white Vision. Yeah.
Yeah. Who confirms that Billy and Tommy are the reincarnated children of the Scarlet Witch. Agatha's mysterious appearance at the end of Fantastic Four is hinted here, just as it is in WandaVision, though it's not massively focused on. We get like a redemption of her character as she mentors Billy.
Okay.
But it's referenced that she's got a shady past. She's been doing some dealings.
So why did she go to Doom?
I think we get there.
Okay, we get there.
I think it's revealed. I hope it's revealed. The Witch's Road reveal is that it's not the same as the show. He did create the Witch's Road, but it's very much a real thing.
Yeah.
He used his powers to create it, which creates a bootstrap paradox, because he technically didn't exist when Wanda walked the road. So he's created the road.
Oh, it's like Reverse Flash situation. He's a paradox. Like, the existence of the Witch's Road is a paradox. That's why it's in between the multiverse.
Yeah,
and
it sits outside of time and space and between the multiverse.
Yeah, no,
it doesn't technically exist.
I'm a Flash fan. I can get on board with paradoxes.
He created the road that his mother walked down to master her own powers. Okay. I like that kind of thing. And his powers doing that reference later on.
Okay.
We got Kit Connor as Teddy Altman. I'll do a load of fan casting here.
Okay, then.
Caitlin, I think you pronounce it Nacon.
Okay, so we hadn't
Kate Bishop.
because we hadn't seen who Kate Bishop was for a very long time.
She's from The Walking Dead.
Okay.
She's like the romance for Carl.
Carl!
And obviously, Kit Connor is like the main fan cast for Teddy Altman. He's perfect for the role. We've got
Joe Locke, you're keeping him. Okay.
Yep. And Joshua Bassett is his twin brother.
Okay, alright.
Elijah Richardson, who is the real life casting for Elijah Bradley from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show. We just haven't seen him return.
Yeah.
And I've kept Catherine Newton
Of course, you have to.
Obviously, Tanner Buchanan as Marvel Boy, and I've got Tyler Lawrence Gray as Nightcrawler. I changed Bill Skarsgård because I needed him to be younger.
I don't know who that is. So.
He's from like a Teen Wolf spin-off. He's pretty good.
Okay.
November! Avengers Secret Invasion. So similar to like when I did Assembled and Dark Empire, you've got like the Fantastic Four film, a TV show in between, and then now the big event. So ignore that. Ignore that down there.
Okay.
The Kree fleet is attacking Earth as Skrulls are revealed to be sleeper agents. The Avengers are banding together to help fight Kree. S.H.I.E.L.D. are engaging in space warfare using Stark and Pym tech. Big, massive, basically like World War. See a funeral for the Wasp. We're uncertain as to how long she's been a Skrull just yet. The entire world is under attack, some countries worse than others. It's noted here that countries with high defences are being avoided, including Wakanda, and we get our first official in-world mention of Latveria.
Okay.
All of the sleeper Skrulls are revealed throughout the film, either during their deaths or as they betray their team in certain scenarios. The Avengers discover the birthright of Teddy Altman during this, because obviously at the end of the show, they're brought in by the Avengers Vision revelation thing. In order to stop the war that now wages on both Earth and across space, Teddy agrees to take up his role as Emperor of both fleets, forming an alliance for the first time in the two races' histories. In reality, though, a Super Skrull shapeshifts into Teddy so that he can remain on Earth with Billy, as they still need to track down Wanda and Pietro. So it's like a bit of a fake-out moment.
Because where is Wanda and Pietro? I don't understand. Oh, yeah, because at the end of Thingy, they...
just sort of go off to Wundagore, don't they? They're in exile.
Oh,
That's what I'm sort of going with.
Gotcha. All right.
At the end of... God, I need to go back. Holy shit, I need to go back. Because I can't remember.
What?
I think she vanishes at the end of Civil War to go to Wundagore. And then there's like an interaction between
she
her and
vanishes at the
Vision.
end of WandaVision. Because she kills Vision. God, I'm fucking having to remember the lore of your video.
Okay. You're right. She goes to Wundagore after WandaVision. Yes. Okay.
So she's in Wundagore. Where is Wundagore?
I don't know. I have no idea where it's placed. Somewhere in like Romania or...
Okay, I thought it was
Sokovia.
I thought it was somewhere in like the magic multiverse or something.
No, it's like an actual mountain. Okay. It's meant to be the birthplace of the twins.
Okay. Now you need to remember where the fuck you are.
Yeah, I do. I needed to make sure that didn't conflict with what I was doing with her further on. We're up to like here.
Yeah.
They don't really know where Wanda and Pietro are. Wanda's off.
I'm guessing
Pietro's
those down there were people who were replaced.
Yes, so you've got Karen Page replaced after Civil War.
Okay, so so when you said that she goes away, no, she doesn't. She does,
but then when she comes back in this film, it's not her.
Gotcha.
It's a Skrull. So then Maria Hill replaced after Avengers Assembled. Hank Pym, so Ant-Man's off the board, at least OG Ant-Man, replaced during / after Ant-Man 2.
So they came back. Were they Ant-Man and were they just normal Hank Pym and Thingy then? Or?
So Hank was normal, but Wasp replaced right before she was trapped in the quantum realm.
Right.
So the entire time Wasp has been a Skrull since we've known her.
Right.
And then obviously Hank gets back from the quantum realm as well, but doesn't get replaced until Ant-Man 2, and it's revealed that it's actually like the Skrulls are a couple as well.
Oh, okay.
Rhodey replaced right before Civil War, and Yelena been a Skrull the entire time we've known her.
Oh, okay.
I don't really want to say whether or not these characters are necessarily killed off when they become Skrulls. I've kind of said that like they're either revealed during their death or when they betray.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't want to decide if I have to kill off War Machine. Like, I don't want that responsibility. It just takes those characters off the board.
Yeah, it takes them off the board. Okay. Now, see, the thing is, the problem with Secret Invasion is just it's so fucking convoluted because you're just like, God.
Yeah. And it's like one of those that is like very impactful for the Avengers. Marvel Strike Force. Now, this one was one I was very excited to show you.
Okay.
So, this takes place right after, and it's a strike force assembled to take down leftover Skrull fugitives and leftover Super Skrulls that are still remaining on Earth. A ragtag team of Avengers band together to take out the remnant Skrulls. They discover that the Skrulls are working for someone, a human, named George Talton. Do you know who that is?
The name rings a bell.
Yes. A scientist trying to use Skrull DNA to fuse it with himself, wanting to use their shape-shifting abilities to become more intelligent, hoping that when he shape-shifts into somebody, like if I turned into you and then turned back into me, I would retain everything you know.
Oh, okay.
So the Strike Force have to use military combat and magic to fight Skrulls and their fusion with science and stuff. We get like a lot of Billy and Teddy training and become better with their powers. I don't want to see them use their towers. I like the idea that this is essentially like a lot of like Black Widow mourning with Kate Bishop over Yelena and Hawkeye. You know, Yelena was a Skrull and stuff. You've got Wiccan and Teddy developing their relationship. A cameo from Tommy, who has been traveling around the world at like basically as fast as he can, looking for Wanda and Pietro. We get a showdown between the Strike Force, led by Blade, against a group of Talton-modified Skrulls. The entire final episode is the Strike Force battling Talton, who has used his technology and Skrull mutations to transform himself into... Do you know?
No. Yes! The big head!
This was the one that I was so excited to show you, and it was so difficult.
Jim Carrey as MODOK. Oh, that's so good!
So, there's lore behind this. This is real-world lore. So, after Endgame, It was rumoured they were doing MODOK, which obviously they did in Quantum Mania, but it was rumoured that Jim Carrey would be playing him, and that he was in talks to play him, but he went off and did the Sonic films instead.
Right, okay.
So, I've taken it. Because he'd be fucking brilliant.
That's amazing.
This is the fan cast that I am like, I want to see it the most. So yeah, we've got the introduction and a bit of an origin story for MODOK. And that's the whole reason he's mutated, is because he's been messing with Skrulls.
Okay.
I've done it.
I've
done the
Sinister
Sinister
Six. You've done the Sinister Six.
With build-up.
With a lot of build-up.
Norman Osborn has assembled a team after the death of his son at the hands... Did I do 5 films? I can't remember. I tried to line it up so it would be 6 films, but I think I might have messed it up a little bit.
Yeah, because I don't think we've been introduced to Rhino, Vulture...
Oh, no. Those 3 have been brought in for this film, but I think prior to this, I was trying to make it so that this would be the 6th Spider-Man film.
And also you've, you already said that there's the previous thingy rogues, didn't you? So maybe he's taken them down in the meantime.
Yeah, we get like a glimpse of them like at Prison 42 or on the raft or whatever.
Yeah.
Ravencroft. So, Norman Osborn has assembled a team of previously featured Spider-Man rogues. Daredevil is featured here as wanting to focus on his lawyer career over being Daredevil. He's getting older now. Mm-hmm. He's losing people in his life. The only person he has left is Foggy. There's like a big emotional push here for Matt Murdock. As Norman Osborn, donning the title of the Green Goblin, assembles a team of villains to hunt down and kill Spider-Man. Peter Parker must call on his allies for help.
I'm surprised, but at the end of that movie, Doc Ock was good, wasn't he? So yeah, he had a redemption arc,
So, Spider-Man has a bounty on his head, and the team of... It's very like Batman Arkham Origins style. They're going after him. In return, they earn their freedom from wherever they're being contained, because they were previously taken down. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man, outnumbered, must call on his own allies and form a mini-Avengers to face the Sinister Six. Daredevil is pulled out of retirement, because he completely put it down for like 10 minutes. Not longer after... pulled out of retirement not long after entering it in order to help his friend. Black Cat makes a return here to team with her now ex, though they still don't have the numbers game.
So this is where you debut the Iron Spider. I'm guessing you could also say that he's maybe using some Octavius tech to get the arms. Yeah. You could tease the superior suit. Oh.
Norman Osborn manages to find out the identity of Spider-Man. He holds Daredevil hostage and threatens to kill him unless Spider-Man reveals his identity, like publicly to the world. When Peter does unmask, Norman wounds Daredevil anyway. Peter has to rush Daredevil to a medic. While doing so, Norman targets and kills Aunt May.
Okay, yeah.
We have a final act showdown after dispatching of the other villains, where a grief-stricken Peter...
I'm also guessing in this you're still going to have that Norman's driven insane by whatever concoction of chemicals he takes to make himself the Green Goblin.
We would get like a Green Goblin Origins in this film.
Yeah.
We have a final act showdown after dispatching of the other villains, where a grief-stricken Peter takes on Norman Osborn and the two battle back and forth across the rooftops of New York City. The fight between the two is intense and bloody and emotional. Like, I imagine it's pretty difficult to watch.
Yeah.
We're going full force acting between Goggins and Ashby here. They're bringing their A game. And plus, like, at this point, this is like back end of college Peter as well. Yeah. Like, we've seen him grow up and stuff.
Yeah.
An injured Daredevil tries to come to the aid of Peter with support from S.H.I.E.L.D. agents and police and stuff. Goblin gets knocked off of his glider towards the end of the fight and is beaten bloody by Spider-Man. Before Spider-Man can kill Goblin and push himself too far, Daredevil stops him and persuades him to be the bigger man and not kill Norman. As the heroes hand Goblin into custody, he uses the remote control feature on his glider, aiming it at Daredevil. The glider soars towards Murdock but impales Spider-Man, who has used his spider sense to push Murdock out of the way. Impaled by the glider...
Oh my god, you kill Spider-Man!
Bruised and beaten, Spider-Man has died.
Holy fuck!
We see a funeral ending the film where Peter is buried next to May and Ben Parker. In attendance of the funeral is pretty much every single Avenger. We see conversations between Tony and Steve, who said that they should have put their differences aside and helped Spider-Man with defending New York. Blaming themselves, we see characters like the Heroes for Hire, where they were during all of this, why they weren't helping. The end credit scene shows the announcement of Spider-Man's death presented in Times Square by Tony Stark, and the camera slowly zooms in on a specific member of the audience, Miles Morales.
Okay, that's cool. So you actually are doing that. That's like the ultimate run, almost, sort of. It's Norman Osborn who orchestrates it all.
Yeah, I've tried my best to not only build up and have like a decent saga of Spider-Man
Jesus,
films,
you kill
but
Spider-Man before he gets like a relationship with Mary Jane.
I haven't mentioned it here, but like because she was in the previous film, I've just sort of assumed they would be dating.
Okay.
Not like they've not been dating long, obviously, but enough.
Oh, I can't believe he killed Spider-Man. That's mental.